Hi, this is Jesse Hurt with the Real Financial Group. I'm here today again with my good friend Martin Drummond, here for our second video in the series on economic disaster loans.
Mm-hmm.
I just really quickly want to inform you that I'm a certified financial planner and Martin is a longtime business publisher. This video is a public service announcement. We are not accountants. We are not attorneys. And we do advise that you seek out either to get further clarification on the items that we discuss here today.
That's exactly right. Thank you.
Yes. So Martin, just real quick to clarify, this video series is really for people who have taken the EIDL loans, the
Mm-hmm.
economic disaster loans over 25,000, right? The collateralized loans. And not the PPP loans. That's a very distinct and different loan program that we're not discussing here in this video series. So the topics that you'll hear here are very specific to the economic disaster loans.
That's right. And I will say, Jesse, what we're going to be looking at, there are two tiers within the disaster loans. The one that has more requirements involves the 25,000 and up, because those require collateral. We're going to talk about a few things involving that. But still, the 25,000, under 25,000, you still have some reporting requirements and some things that are involved, but it's not quite as onerous or time consuming. But SBA is still going to be very intimately involved in how you run your business.
Yes, yes, very. And we want to make sure that people understand what they're taking on. The SBA is somewhat of a business partner. There are some very stringent requirements inside of this, and I think that a lot of people from the media thought that these were free. This was free money, and it very clearly is not. So if you wanted to start going over a few of those items, Martin, and we'll discuss them.
I will, and I'm just going to touch on a few things, and then let Jesse comment if he feels that it could be helpful in understanding. Some of the items, and everybody that is given an opportunity to take a loan from the SBA, they receive what's called a loan authorization. You can't really see it, but it says loan authorization and agreement. And it lists quite a number of stipulations that you agree to as part of signing to receive this loan. And I'm just going to itemize some of them, not all of them, and then Jesse will have some comments. But what it says here in the first one regarding collateral is that if you have an SBA loan and you put up any collateral, that collateral in effect becomes encumbered by the SBA.
Mm-hmm.
It says that collateral cannot turn over, in essence, be sold without the SBA approval. We'll talk about that in a little bit more in just a minute. But Jesse, do you want to talk about that collateral aspect and how that could create a problem for a business?
Yeah, so the collateral aspect, those will be any items that you listed on your balance sheet, right? And so a lot of times people will think, well, this is a short-term loan. However, they're giving you 30 years to pay it back, but at 3.75% interest rate. So for a lot of companies, this will become long-term debt. And so if you have a one-ton Dodge 2012 Dodge truck that you planned, you put on your balance sheet, which you obviously would, you can't sell that for 30 years, and that just isn't something without the SBA approval.
Without the SBA approval,
Which really isn't realistic, and you can imagine how cumbersome that paperwork will become over time.
Oh, absolutely. And you can ensure the SBA, they're going to require appraisal of everything, and you're not going to be able to sell whether it's a truck or a backhoe, whatever the case might be. Another item of concern involves use of loan proceeds. It says that the loan is only to be used for working capital and nothing else. If in the course of SBA's evaluation of how you spent the money, if they find that it went to other things, and some people do, that's going to create a problem. And Jesse, could you give some of the people what a general understanding of what working capital is?
It's more of it's cash flow, right? It's money that you use to make money with, right? This money isn't meant to be used to buy additional equipment. However, there is a stipulation in there that if you do buy additional equipment, it has to be made in America. To the best of your ability. Obviously, they know that not everything is made in America. But yeah, that is a really specific guidelines solely for working capital. So make sure that you're not using this money for other things. A lot of people, I think, took these loans on thinking that they were going to need the money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find that you don't need the money because business hasn't been as bad as you thought it would, we would strongly suggest that you consider
Absolutely.
giving it back and just continuing on in the way that you were. Now, if you did need it, which a lot of people did, then obviously you're under these constraints, and you just need to be aware of what they are.
Right, right. And there are so many elements in these lists of stipulations that we're not going to be able to get into, but I do want to highlight just a few. Record keeping is a really big deal with this loan. It says you have to keep all your receipts, anything that's itemized, invoices, canceled checks, you have to keep all of those for up to 3 years after the last disbursement that you receive of the loan. That's quite a record keeping requirement, and that's why we suggesting you talk to your tax advisor. Some businesses have people on staff that could probably handle the record keeping part of it without a problem, but if you don't, you need to go in with your eyes open as to what's going to be happening.
Yeah, and remember that these loans were disaster injury loans. And most people took them on assuming they would have a significant injury from the disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you didn't, from what we read, the SBA has the ability to come back and say you didn't suffer, right? Your invoices didn't reduce, even though you thought they were, and that's why you applied. That keeping the money could have some negative impacts, especially because the penalty for fraud, right? What they consider fraud at this point is very vague. Is 100%, 150% of the loan balance.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure that you're working with your tax professional. A lot of you, business owner clients that we have that have fairly sizable businesses. So I know you do your taxes and stuff internally. Really, this is the time to work with a professional, right?
Absolutely.
And keep in mind that this is all new to the professionals, and so you really just need to be patient with them, be patient with the system, and just know what you got yourself into. So our next two videos will be, the next one will be on the default risk. There's a whole section in here on what is considered a default, and I think that it's imperative that people are made aware of the default, especially for partnerships and multi-owner arrangements. And then the third video will be just a general overview of what we've discussed, and then we'll provide some resources available to you to help you navigate this.
Yeah, I just want to add, we'll touch on some other things in the other videos, but the key is don't sign this without getting professional advice, because you could end up having a great amount of regret for having done so, and there's no way to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're dealing with the federal government. The SBA is a great program, and it's there for you, but they have to control things, and we don't yet know how they're going to do that, and that kind of scares all of us. So
right.
Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next video. Have a great day.